You're listening to the Live Fierce podcast, where real people share raw stories of strength built on honor, integrity, community, and commitment. These are the values that forged W.O.L.F gyms, and we are the voices behind that movement. This is the culture, this is the pack, this is the Live Fierce podcast. All right, guys, welcome back to the Live Fierce podcast. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, the equipment.
Your package.
The package. The equipment package. Never grow up, never surrender.
Never, ever.
Yeah, I love equipment. Equipment is one of my favorite, if not my favorite part of what we do, as far as like the design portion and the finished product of the actual job of opening a gym.
I think it's really important from an outsider's perspective. I'm in the inside now, but from the outside perspective before.
Yeah.
I think it's important because that's the first thing I noticed is the style of equipment. And we were talking about today, the gym that I go to in St. Augustine is a national brand, corporately owned. And it's brutal. The equipment is sterile. It also, when they took over an existing space, that was another corporately owned one and they bought it. This is, by the way, I found out this has been going on for 2.5 years. So they bought this gym, the corporate gyms previously, and I'm not going to name them.
And they sat on it for 2.5 years?
They bought it 2.5 years. They have yet, the only thing they changed was one room and they brought in a little bit of equipment there. Everything else has been the exact same. Everything else. And
it's a great business plan.
Dude, it is
do nothing.
Nuts. It is nuts. And it's funny because when I come in here and I see we're in the Northfield location, I look at this, I'm like, we were sitting over there on a low row, like low pull machine. I don't even know what it's called. Like, I'm not an equipment nerd. I'm not gonna lie. That's not me.
Oh, the DY row.
Yeah. And dude, it's got basically, I think it's about 6 different ways that hand positions that you can pull. Yep. And I'm just like, please, like, God, give me this in my gym. And it's really important for people to understand that that is a massive part of what makes W.O.L.F stand out.
Shout out to Arsenal, by the way. That is their low row, multi-grip low row.
Dude, it is nuts.
The reloaded line.
It's sexy.
Awesome shit. We love it.
Sexy.
Not paid for that endorsement, but you can pay me whenever you want.
Well, I remember the first time we were talking and like, I could see the passion and like the conviction when you talk about equipment.
Yeah.
And I kind of challenged you earlier and like, it's really easy for you because you love it. It's like, what's your framework around thinking about equipment? And also shout out to Alex, our creative like lead on this, and who was like, hey, we should talk about equipment because you're passionate about it. You're an expert on it.
I said today during our discovery day, they were very happy about the passion that we all have for this project, which is W.O.L.F. Quality always comes down to it for me for multiple reasons. One, I grew up in an old school gym where everything was Body Masters, original hammer, old school Nautilus. It was heavy. You couldn't move it. It was solid. There was a feeling of permanence when you were on it. When you can move equipment around in today's gyms by hand, it's probably aluminum or, a lesser gauge steel. It just doesn't feel solid. If it shifts or if it bends when you have too much weight on it, you notice those things. So quality's always been a big thing for me for multiple reasons, not just because I choose the thickness of steel and I like it being heavy, but it comes down to, is it insurable? Is it going to be something that's going to last the test of time? Even before we started W.O.L.F, just in system now though, like we do it for the reason of, do we want to have them to be do we want to force renewed buys of equipment every 2 or 3 years? No, we don't want to be those people. That's not our corporate plan. I've got equipment in our flagship location of Brigantine that's 35 years old, and to its credit, all that we've done is new bearings, new paint, new leathers when needed, as needed. And it's not going anywhere. It looks and feels and works the same as the new stuff, but it's 10 times heavier. It just feels better to me. And so when we do find the ability to find older school equipment that we can bring back to life, I cherish the opportunity because it's heavy. It's thick ass shit that people may not have ever seen that are like 20 or 30. But I'm on the wrong side of 30 and I saw it when I was growing up. And but it's like, it still has a place in fitness. Mm-hmm. It's not like at the bottom of the ocean. It's in a warehouse somewhere just waiting for you to restore it. So we do that when we can. But it's always the material. Then I think about, is it insurable? Are people we don't want anybody to get hurt on any of this stuff. We're putting people's wellness and their safety in our hands as much as anything else. It's risk. I
don't think enough gym owners actually think about that. When you think about insurable.
Not when you see the shit they put in their gyms.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy, listen, I shouldn't say you can't buy fitness off Instagram because the biggest vendors sell off Instagram, but you can't buy off-brand fitness. You can, but you shouldn't buy off-brand fitness equipment off Instagram if it's not UL rate, if you can't insure it, if like, those are really big things. It's not enter at your own risk. This is a business.
Yeah.
And waivers are only as good as the insurance that they're underwritten under.
Yep.
So I think about that stuff. I think about that now more than I used to, but mainly before it was always the aesthetic, the feel, the touch, what it would look like if it wasn't an old piece of shit. Like if I were to sand it down and fix it, would this be badass? Would it have a place in our space? Would people love it?
Yep.
And today we had a discovery day with a great group from Connecticut, and they saw a 35 or 42-year-old super pullover Nautilus machine at Brigantine that looked brand new and loved it. So our state of the art, we have a converging custom Smith over there from them. And he's like, I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, yeah, they made it first in New York. It's really the equipment. Nerding out about it's everything. The usability comes into play. And by usability, I mean, we have a 3,000 plus person gym environment of people who are from 4 foot, I would assume, up to I'm 6'7", 6'6" on a good day, right? And there's people who are taller than me. If I only have one leg,
you were 6'5". You're 6'7".
Yeah, I'm 6'5", 6'6".
Jeez, I've been selling you short, bro.
That's okay. I'll take it. I think anything over 6 foot's greedy. No. But we have people who are taller than me here. Like, can we fit on the same piece of equipment, leg extension? Can we fit on the same leg extension that the 4 foot tall person can? Probably not, because there's only so much movement that you can mechanically drive to make people fit. So what do? We pick 2 or 3 pieces of stuff that we really like, but are different brands that can fit different people. Ergonomically, they work the same muscle group, but spatially they fit somebody who's my size up to someone who's maybe 5'5", and then you have the ladder for everybody else.
Yeah, perfect example is literally us. I'm 5'9", you're 6'7". We got to have equipment.
We've got 4 pieces here that will fit on.
Yeah, there you go.
Plate load and pin select. So we just make sure that we have a multitude of options. There should always be overflow. Plus, you can never just have one leg extension or one chest fly in a commercial setting, because there's always going to be the rush where people are waiting for stuff. So usability comes into play. We want to make sure we're putting shit into our space that everybody can fit on, or if not, do we have option? Option is opportunity, right? Insurability, we already talked about that. Must be insurable. You got to make sure you protect your assets and your members and yourself. Is it trending? A lot of growth through our industry, and you can agree with this, is social, right? Yep. People are putting a lot into specialty pieces as like sizzle reels and content to get more eyes on their space and to get more cash, more money, more sales, more opportunity. Do we do that? Absolutely. And we do it across 3 or 4 brands. We pick their best pieces and we make sure that we sprinkle it in.
And that's the cool part, I think, with the relationships that you've built over time.
With the vendors, you mean?
Yeah, with the vendors, is that we've gotten to a point now where we can now get access to those.
Yeah.
Like before anyone else.
For sure.
As a brand. And like, it's pretty cool to say, like, we can go in with Bolt or even Arsenal, and we get access to these pieces before anybody else does. Yep.
And they, and those are 2 of many companies that really, they're at the tip of fitness. Like they're everywhere. You're going to start seeing, well, you already see Arsenal everywhere, right? To their credit, they've been doing this for a long time. We know Hammer, we know Nautilus, we know all the big players, and then we see people coming into the fold with Bolt. Again, not a paid sponsorship, but like we like their stuff and we're proud of it. You know, one of our franchisees, Terrence Ruffin, is he partnered in with them, and he's helping them pave the way for getting them into the commercial space. And like, it's great stuff with great people. Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between, think of like head turners, like trending stuff. You also have to balance that with usability and practicality, because there's tons of fads that, you know, are constantly coming up inside of the fitness space. And it's funny because I think of the tech side of stuff where it's like, there's some cool stuff, and then there's some stuff that just frankly it's not practical at all. And no one's actually going to use it. And then you see other stuff, whether it's training fads, whether it's equipment fads, whatever it is, there are things that actually work, and they also look really cool. And it's understanding the difference between something that's never going to get used, which is a waste of money.
Yeah. Is it a paperweight, or is it going to be something?
Yeah, exactly. Or is it something that's actually cool and people are like, wow, this thing's awesome.
Yeah. Does it do what it's supposed to do? And how easy is it for me to use? Yeah. Education on a piece of equipment should be little to none, because that's just it's a time suck for you have to do it for 2,000 people. Yeah. It takes your staff away from their core task, which is watching your desk and being there for you.
Which I loved that I saw at Mullica Hill, Mike and his team, they started doing QR codes.
Genius.
Great. I love it. Like, going
Talk
the
about
extra
that though.
mile.
What does a QR code do?
Yeah.
Right?
So what they did was, and I loved it, they started putting QR codes on every single piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And you can take your phone, scan it, and it'll take you to a YouTube video that's going to break down how to use the equipment. And it's an instructional video of how to do it in a very simple step-by-step format.
Which is awesome.
It's amazing. And I think that speaks to how he thinks about the customer experience. And that's a perfect example of embodying what we are about here at W.O.L.F. because
Community.
Dude, exactly. It's about we honor the community, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it too is I know for a fact that there would be people like my wife, right? She grew up in the gym. Mm-hmm. She was an athlete growing up. She was an Olympic weightlifter. She CrossFit, you name it. And there are times we'll go into a gym and she'll be like, I don't know how to use this.
Yeah, what is that?
Can you show me how to use this? And I'll be like, yeah, you go here, you do this. And then there's times, the other day I was in a gym, I can't remember where it was. And I was like, I have no idea what this piece of equipment is. It wasn't one of ours.
Right.
But I'm like, I have no idea. And I'm trying to figure it out. And like, this thing looks cool, but like, I have no idea how to use it.
What does it do?
Yes. What does it do? And, I think of that. And I've been in gyms since I was 12. I'm like, I've lived in gyms, worked out, athlete, you name it. Mm-hmm. And imagine now the person that walks through the door that's already worried, already scared, already thinking that everyone's
entering
staring.
a space on its own.
They're petrified. And they're looking and they're thinking everyone's looking at them and they're worried about it. And this is why so many people quit gyms.
Because this is Mars to them and
Yes.
it's never been explained.
And that's why they go to the thing that they know the most, which would be treadmills, which I'm pointing to the ones in the back.
You want to drill a hole into your brain unless you have a kink for treadmills
Yes.
after like 2 or 3 weeks of doing it with looking at everybody else doing their shit and not knowing.
And that's why people quit gyms.
Yep.
Is because they do that and they're like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go try that out.
They churn themselves out of the business. Yeah. You don't even have to do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They just, by not showing them or giving them the opportunity, mm-hmm. you've already, they're telling themselves this is the wrong spot for me when it's exactly where they need to be.
And we'll talk about actions that people can take down the road about like how to overcome that.
QR code's a good idea though.
But QR codes is a very simple thing.
I think Mullica also does their trainer series too, where like mm-hmm. one or two weekends a month, they'll say from 10 o'clock to noon, you can come and with a trainer, we'll walk you around every piece of equipment, whether you know it or not. We're going to walk you through it. We'll help with your settings. That's a cost of, what is that? An employee for an hour, a trainer for an hour or two, whether it leads to more training sales or not. They do it in groups.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
And they get a card and they literally everybody will take a seat. We'll mark down their settings. We'll walk down their working weights. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
If it transitions to training sales, that's great, but that's not what they're doing it for. They're just doing it because why? If you can't come here to use the space, you're not going to come here. That's just
consumption.
Yeah.
We are about at W.O.L.F. We're about actually members consuming the service and the product that's here.
We want you here. We actually want you to work out because then you can live fierce.
Yeah. Which is also why we want quality equipment because of the wear and tear. Like we're not trying to have a cheap gym and cheap equipment and be a big box that everyone, I will not name, the purple people eaters, and just try to sell memberships and no one comes in.
Well, what happens when you don't care about the equipment? Even if, let's say we didn't go with something that was as sturdy or as beefy as this package here. If we went with a lesser brand that wasn't built for the abuse, someone's still going to get hurt. Yep. Or you're going to just have more maintenance, which is going to cost more money, which is going to like lower your top line. It's just, there's so many reasons why the equipment is the most important part of the space after identifying where you want to open and can you build a community? Mm-hmm. Is there a brand? It's really the equipment. I won't go to a gym if I know if it's shit ass equipment or someone's going to get hurt or if there's not enough of one thing, just because my time is becoming exceedingly more limited as we have more kids and more gyms, as everything is growing at the same time, to where if I'm working out during the day, I have 40 minutes to do this, or I'm training at midnight.
Yeah.
I need to know that I'm coming into a space and that it doesn't have shit ass equipment. I'm not going to get hurt on. I don't have to worry about if it's been maintained. I'm not checking the cables for frays. Mm-hmm. I do that at hotel gyms. Yep. I don't go to other people's gyms, so I have to say hotel gyms. But like when we were in Utah, well, there was there were like 200 pieces of equipment in this gym, and I counted 16 or 17 that were out. Mm-hmm. That's 10% almost.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of real estate out of order.
Yeah.
For a space.
And I think we tend to forget, because we tend to live in our own bubble. And we have our own biases in our own world that we live in. I think a lot of times as gym owners, and this is anytime, business, period, we start to think that everyone thinks the same way that we do and make the same assumptions. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is like, we as gym owners were like, yeah, so obviously people come in and they're okay willing to wait because I live and breathe fitness and I live and breathe gyms. This is where I'm at. So I'm just going to assume people will have the same level of patience and they won't care if it's dirty. They won't care if the equipment isn't that great because you know what? It's a gym and like they should be thankful that they're here to work out. When it's like, okay, the dad that's working has to go in, he drives an hour to work and he needs to get in here before and he's missing time with his kids. And now he has to wait or stuff's broken and you've taken a week to fix it. At some point, he's just going to give up and he's going to go somewhere else that actually gives a shit.
Or worst case, he's going to say, fuck it, fuck fitness. And he's going to live an unhealthy lifestyle for his kids, to which you could have, it's not your fault, but you could have fixed it by doing a better job. Everything we do translates to everything outside of here because we are trying to set people up for success in life by giving them the best hour of their day so they can be fit, right?
We're trying to save lives.
You're trying to save lives. This is what fitness is. It's health. It's health before wealth, but you can't be wealthy if you're not healthy.
Yes.
There's no fucking point in money if the endeavor is not there to live with it.
Because when you're 60 years old, you're a billionaire, but you're a fat fuck and you are going to have a heart attack or something, you would give every single cent of your wealth to go back to 20 years old and be healthy.
Would you rather be a poor, skinny person or the blob in the hover chair who can't see his toes from WALL-E?
Dude, because when you're in pain and you're living that, and we've been through that, like, dude, you have your own story to think through that. And that has actually nothing to do with your level of fitness or strength or anything.
No. It's still like, super strong, super fat, super strong.
But like, you've been there, but that pain is real though. Because when you're in pain or you're nearing that and it's a life and death situation, you're not thinking about anything else. You are just thinking about survival. You're thinking about, can I make it to the next day? Can I make it to the next breath? Right?
Yeah, when you're in, there's so many varying levels of pain.
Yeah.
And like, I think of like all of the members who have told me I'm battling cancer, or I just lost my husband like 3 days ago. And if I didn't come here today, I wasn't getting out of the house. I just wasn't going to make it. We have to have this space ready for those people. And for the people who are like, it's fucking Wednesday and I'm going to work in an hour. It doesn't matter. Like, it just has to be ready for it. Whether it's your worst day or your best day, we have to be prepared for it. So it's the quality of the equipment really is one of the most important pieces to our business.
Yeah.
And it's what's fun for us is like you and I, and we've been to like 7 states in the past month, with 6 of them have gyms of ours that are either open or opening. Yep. None of them look the same.
That's a beautiful part.
None of them have, so I don't want to say none of them have the same equipment because you can't get past some of the staple pieces like the bench press or the dumbbell. Mm-hmm. They have those. But as far as package, as far as timeline of age of package between old and new or just all new, all of the gyms are completely different. And I say it with a huge smile on my face because nobody else is doing it like that.
Yeah.
And it's
this is what I love. So if we went to go talk to, let's say, franchise consultants and people that have been in there, we go talk to private equity, anyone else, they'd be like, you're doing it wrong because you're not going to be able to scale. You're not going to have a repeatable system when it comes to looking at build outs. It's going to be too complicated. Don't do it.
That's the reason to do it.
Exactly. And this is why I love it, because
that's
every single
do it.
one
because you rich
different.
Assholes just told me why you wouldn't do it. So let me go do it because that's what I wanted to do anyways.
We are the franchise that everyone wished they were a part of. That is it. Because we are
the franchise that
everyone wished that they could be a part of. And
I hope that's the case. And if they haven't found out about us, when they do find out about us, I hope that is how they feel. Because we want them to have a one-off space.
The thing is, because you created the anti-franchise franchise.
Right. Corporate for the sake of not being corporate. We have to be corporate to protect the brand, but we're not going to be a 1,000-pound gorilla on your back who are forcing rebuys and forcing shit that you're not going to sell and be stuck with down your throats. If you don't need it, don't buy it.
Yep.
We don't make money on it if you buy it and don't sell it. So if you don't need it, don't waste the money. Put that money into marketing.
Dude, I just had an hour-long conversation with someone who actually was working on starting his own franchise today and also was a part of another major franchise. And I was talking about, he was asking me why I left Gym Launch to come here. And I walked through all the different stuff. And he was like, wait, so what you're doing is you're actually part of a franchise, and Tony created a franchise that actually gives a shit about their partners, meaning their franchisees, and actually cares about them. So he actually built a franchise the way it was supposed to be, the way it was meant to be built.
We built a franchise that if we had to say, if we were brand new to this industry, knew that we loved it and wanted to go after it, after reading all of, and you've read more FTDs than I've read, I've only read what I could get my hands on. Would I sign that packet? And I could wholeheartedly say I'd sign it 10 ways from Sunday because it's fair. It's more than fair. It's more than fair.
Yeah.
on both sides of the street. Our ask is no greater than our ask of you, and we'll always show up for ours. Yeah. And that's past that point, everything else is fun.
And I know I took us on a little bit of a rabbit trail from equipment, but it matters though.
It does matter.
Because again, the equipment matters so much. When you think about the quality, the usability, the options of having the same ones that now if I'm 6'7" or 5'9", I've got different, but also I have options at volume. Mm-hmm. So if I've got busiest times, I want to have options. I don't want to just have one set of dumbbells. I got to have multiple sets of dumbbells. We're looking at building out the St. Augustine space, and that place is going to be incredible. We were talking about, I was asking you like, cool, how many sets of dumbbells are we going to have? Because the gym across the street, like
you said they were rocking like 2.
Yeah.
Dude, we're rocking 5 sets of dumbbells here.
I know.
Yeah. And over time we'll probably add more, which is, it's with the dumbbell and the barbell are 2 of the most heavily used pieces of gym equipment in the world, right? And commonly used. So you need them as you get more asses in seats.
And trending, obviously you got to have those pieces that stand out from a marketing perspective, but also they have to be practical and they have to be easy to use.
Yep.
They shouldn't require someone to come over. They shouldn't require a PhD to figure out how to use them.
When you have to have staff stop what their core task is of running your space from the front desk aspect to leave their job, which is potentially leaving sales at the front desk, to help a customer, which is still their job. It's still customer service is our job, but because the equipment is so hard for them to understand, it's the wrong piece of equipment in the space, or do the QR code, or most of those pieces of equipment will have some kind of label on it that will show the users how to do it. It's quite simply, they just haven't seen it. So point it out to them, walk them through the first time usage. But making it so complicated where you have that happen more than like 10 or 13 times a day, it's like, okay, we put the wrong piece in the space.
Yeah. It's making fitness accessible to everyone.
Got to make it understandable. The QR code though, if you do have a hyper complex piece or just an older clientele that haven't seen any of the newer stuff yet because they're so used to it, that's a beautiful way to do it.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I'm going to make that.
We're going to make that. There it is. W.O.L.F standard stamped.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how that shit happens.
What we'll do is we'll just do it corporately and then it'll be easy because.
And they have a great group filming their videos. Yeah. We know them well. We just game planned out a whole new thing. That's great.
Yeah. Jason, get ready.
Yeah. Jason.
We're adding that into our next conversation tomorrow.
QR codes.
What we're talking about. But yeah, so quality, steel, weight, it's got to have that usability, options with the same machine, trending. It's got to be some sort of head turner, but also practical. Yeah,
not every piece has to be a head turner. When we pick our specialty pieces, we take that into consideration for sure. But like most of this is just a cable. This is just a cable crossover. But look at how it looks. They're making just beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like it's beefy. It is heavy. It's one of the heaviest fucking things I've had to put together.
I know. Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It stands out. But it does the same thing that the one that's 4 feet smaller, that weighs 700 pounds less does. It's just not as durable. Yeah. It's not made from the right shit. This stuff is made from the right shit. We're only putting that stuff into our spaces because at the end of the day, we have to go to bed and put our heads at night. I don't need to think about the horror story of a lat pull down snapping on the back of someone's head because they put in shitty cables or they had a screwdriver as the pin instead of an actual stainless steel pin. And that happens. True story. Unfortunately, not in our space.
Yep.
But we got a new customer because of it, and horrified.
Yep.
Just horrified. But like, yeah, we have to think about that stuff because the gym owner, like you said, whether they're a franchisee or they're their own singleton operator, until they've had that experience, and God forbid they never do, it's not a common thought.
Yeah.
You're not sitting here thinking, oh, well, I just spent thousands of dollars on this piece of equipment. It has to be safe. They want you to think that.
Yeah.
That's why they paint over their welds. It's your fault. It's your fault if you put in lesser equipment. It comes to you. It's on Kale. It's on Tony. It's on whoever our partner in the location is. That comes on to you. And so we just want to make sure that if God forbid anything ever happened, it wouldn't be because of equipment's being faulty or not serviced or it's not the right piece. It would be user error or some other combination of it, but it won't be because the equipment's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We have QC standpoints. We've got RAN standards that are heavily implemented, and we have SLAs, service level agreements, for everybody that's in the area to make sure our stuff gets constantly maintained because it gets heavily used.
And I think it's important. It's a quick bridge to affordability because I think a lot of people are like quality, so it's got to be super expensive. But don't. So I'm going to say this: you're gonna pay It just depends on, are you going to pay twice?
Right. I was gonna say there is no cheap in fitness. No. Everything, it's business for them, right? So one, you want to buy quality, so it's going to cost more. But two, if it's a quality piece of equipment, they're really going to get you one time on it, and so you're going to pay for it up front. But you got to think about longevity as a business owner. Is okay. So this bicep curl, a beautiful Arsenal bicep curl I'm looking at right now, cost me X. Over how many months of depreciation till that's paid off, and then will it last past that point? If it does, and the answer with them is yes, that's a solid buy. If you're under your ass in 3 years and you still have 2 more years of payments, and then it's worth negative to you, and then you got to put more out to get a new piece in when it's done being paid, then it's not a good product for you. I would never have thought that way as a singleton operator until I opened the second location with my wife, Abseekin, and we had to do that math for ourselves to make sure we were doing the right thing for ourselves, and then really reinforced it for Northfield, because that package, this is a 15,000 square foot gym. I went from a 8,000 Brigantine, which was it's a decent sized package, to a smaller package in Abseekin. Now we've had larger facilities, but those were facilities that we took over. So this was like a first full soup to nuts, super fitness, went down there, did the warehouse trip. Steve hooked us up. We had a ton of fun shopping for it.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, awesome. Him and Amber, awesome people. They came out for the open. They helped us set up the night before. But that was a massive undertaking. That was a 3x spend on our top spend for the previous gym. So yeah, you're going to always pay for it, but it's how are you going to pay for it? Are you going to finance it through the company that's going to charge you 13 points plus 20% for installation for freight and install? Or are you going to find somebody where you can do your own shipping or 3PL, and we help with that so that we can negotiate lower costs. So you're getting it there for 8 instead of 60, right? And unloaded.
Or are you joining a franchise that's going to force you into buying a specific package at retail plus,
which is what they all do. Almost all of them. We don't do that. There's a way to do things, and there's a right way and a wrong way, and it's however you define it. For us, right is not making money on every single aspect, making sure people get into the space affordably. And we had this conversation today with a potential franchisee who came in, who was saying he was looking at another brand, and they don't do anything for you. They just want to sell you the product. They'll take your money. They have no surface level conversation past that point until you sign, and then they shop you out. Then you'll go. No, that's why you don't do that. That's why franchising puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And that's why it's so important for us to disrupt what we're doing, so that we can show there is a right way to do this stuff, and it can be fun and it can be your own. We get tired of saying we curate the spaces to the communities, because people get tired of hearing the same, but it really is the truth. We don't curate it. We handpick the equipment out for every one of the communities that we open in based off of the demographics that we pull and off of feeder that we get from their socials.
Yeah.
Curate.
Curate it. I mean, again, I think we keep preaching it because we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. And I think it is a very important part of what we do. And it's what our community loves about it. And that every single space is different.
They're clean, they're different, they're inviting.
Yeah.
The aesthetic for me, I think it's super, we were just designing St. Augustine today, or playing around in CAD on it. The aesthetic is just such a fun thing that we get to do.
Wait. I can't wait.
And in system, if with us, if there's people who have really cool, we're going to have some really grand ideas where we're playing with texture and tonality and not just having black walls and black ceilings. We've been doing that for a decade. We're going to start tiptoeing into where we're going to next with those activations, so that people can see
it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, because nobody knew who we were 10 years ago or 7 years ago, right? We're having our 7th birthday party this next week for W.O.L.F. And a lot of people still don't know who we are today, but we've been doing the black on black with the LED lights. We're getting tired of it almost now, to the point where we're shifting gears into where we're going to next, which is the next iteration of W.O.L.F, which is forward thinking for all of our current locations too, because we're not going to force them to brand assimilate, because we're not changing. All that we're changing is aesthetic. The product is the gym.
Yeah.
The environment is a plus.
Yes.
They have an amazing environment where they're currently at. Nothing wrong with it. Don't change. You built a beautiful community. But as we grow, tastes change, right? Or experience changes, or environments, communities change. This today we were described. This one is very Bat Cave, in a positive way. It's like Batman's playground.
Yep.
Brigantine's all natural light.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very different aesthetic
Totally
and feel. Abseekin is a small town community gym, very different aesthetic and feel.
Yeah.
It's got plenty of light, but it's still got the black walls. Still got our artwork on it.
Like St. Augustine is going to be so different than Utah.
100%.
In Saratoga Springs, it's tons of roll-up doors, tons of windows. There's mountains in the
Mountain
backdrop.
views everywhere.
It's gorgeous. And then St. Augustine, there's no windows.
Right.
It's going to be a box. We're going to make it incredible.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be it's going to be, the lighting in that space is going to be just off the chart.
It's going to be fun to showcase because it's going to be very different than I think the OGs.
I don't even want to for sure.
Like,
I mean,
it's going to be a brand new unveiling.
The coolest part about all of our gyms is every single gym that we build is our best gym.
Yeah.
And even though this might be our 15th or our 19th or our 100th, number 1, number 2, number 3 are still our best gym because there's no competition with it. We didn't build a second one. We built that one for that space. So it's the number 1 gym in that community.
Friday.
Because our franchise doesn't compete against ourselves.
Yeah.
We love that everything is different at all locations. Sewell is our next one to probably open from scratch build. We're filming there tomorrow, right? That is from the gray matter of it's me on an iPad at night saying, this is going to be a badass gym. How do we do this? Yeah. Like, this is such a unique space. Let's build it out. And we're doing the same thing for St. Augustine. Like, I don't want to
they'll see.
They'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because I think when you look
because you're going to film, we're going to film all that anyways. But like
thing.
When we get to the design aspect, it's going to be
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
People are going to be very excited for
this. Is a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So St. Augustine, those of you that live in St. Augustine, you've got something to look forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I mean, Florida's blowing up right now in general.
Yeah. I mean,
Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, we got we got Pennsylvania, Jersey activations left and right.
We're going to have some really cool announcements that are, by the time this comes out, we are already have made those announcements, I think, by the time we post this.
Oh, so
we can talk about it. I mean, we closed on a 50 unit master franchise deal.
It's really a 200 unit master. It's just, but yeah, 50 units up.
Well, it's technically 200 because the state can sustain it. Yep. It's just with an automatic rebuy.
Yep.
Started with 50, but ultimately automatic rebuy. So we have a state master there. We have another state master in Utah.
Arizona, Texas
are about finalizing. So I think by the time we announce that we release this podcast, they will have finalized. So this is crazy.
Yeah.
4 state masters in
a month and a half.
Insane.
Yeah, we didn't start with that. We didn't start brainstorming that around until the beginning of September.
Insane.
And then, it's gonna get weird in a really cool way.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to. That's why we're filming everything. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fast.
We're looking at California.
Yep. And New York. We've got people interested in New York and the Carolinas as well. But we also have a really cool opportunity with a bunch of people who aren't looking just to buy states, which is also still very fun.
Awesome.
They're looking,
Oh, it's awesome. It's life-changing. Yeah. Just one unit is life-changing. Like opening that gym and having the opportunity to change lives in your community, but also from a financial perspective, it's life-changing.
And it's cool when they come in for a discovery day. And for people who don't know what a discovery day is, it's when they physically show up to one of our locations and they get to meet us, and not only just meet us in person because we met on Zoom or on phone, but they get to go to all the spaces, touch it, feel it, lick it, see if they like it. Like, it's the fun part. It's the tangible part about what we do. This is something that we can create with you and for you. We want you to see it. Having the ability to do that at such drastically different spaces is super cool, because one of those will resonate with them.
Yeah.
And if not, tell me what does. If it's something that we jive with, we're going to build that gym.
Yep. That's
yeah.
I mean, again, the flexibility, because so many times the knock on franchises and this type of business model is how rigid they are.
Well, they do that for control of product and for, there's so many, I get why they do it, but I hate that's why they do that.
But control comes from fear.
Right.
That's the thing.
Or they've made such a gnarly agreement with whoever they're selling from that it just doesn't make sense for them to go to another vendor. So they're going to keep pushing that one product till it's dead.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot faster than they think.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's what I love about this, man. Just how much you've thought about this, how much we continue to innovate, and where we're going. There's so much that's happening, and it's going to be a lot of fun to showcase this to the local communities as well as the rest of the world as we continue to grow. Yeah, we've got some loud bells to ring, and we're starting to ring them, which is really fun. Yeah. And it's not going to stop. No. All right, dude. No. This has been fun, man.
This is actually a really fun process. I was fearing podcasting when you brought it up a few months ago, but this is fun.
This is great.
I dig it.
What's funny is no one knows right now. We film these in the locations after hours.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, right now we're filming this. It's midnight.
It is 11:59 of the PM.
This is the commitment, man. Just keep working and keep sharing the story.
But this podcast would suck ass if it was in a gym during gym hours.
Terrible.
You wouldn't hear a damn thing.
No, you wouldn't.
Nobody would care what we're doing. People in the back would be waving. It'd be like Chuck E. Cheese.
We should try to figure out a way to do that, guys, at some point. That'd be hilarious. Like a little bubble.
Could you do like a
glass, like a little glass?
What about like those silent discos?
Yeah, dude.
Where we're just like,
yeah,
you can only like hear what we're saying, and the gym's just existing in the background.
Or you know how like they take the glass cases and they put them in the city?
Yeah.
And you're just like doing something in the middle. You do like one of those and we drop it right in the middle of the gym.
Just like one of those
and
booths with the vortexes.
Yeah, we do a podcast in there. That'd be hilarious. I love it.
We should do one from the roof.
Yeah.
Like we should have a parking lot event and do one from the roof one day.
That'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
I love it. All right, dude.
He's just smiling. He's cheesing over there. All right,
Appreciate
guys.
it,
Live fierce. Have a good night.
See you.